everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope y'all had a great and safe July 4th weekend. But today we are back in the shop and I am looking to tackle the vibration coming from the rear end of my Wrangler. Now, a couple of people had commented on my previous video where I had tried fixing the vibration and they were absolutely right. The problem is the angles on my rear drive shaft. One is like 17.5 degrees, the other one is like 29 degrees. That is the source of all of my vibrations. So I went to Core4x4 and I got a complete set of adjustable control arms for the front and rear of the TJ. Now today I'm only focused on the rear. I will be doing the front at another time because right now I'm not getting any vibrations out of the front, but I'm really happy and impressed with these products and I definitely want to install those very soon. So with that said, I'm going to move the camera. We're going to go underneath the rear end of the Wrangler and we are going to install these adjustable control arms on my rear axle. Let's get to work. All right, everyone, so we're underneath the Jeep and you can see this is the problem. Because I have a double cardian joint here, this is supposed to take up the slack of the pinion being misaligned here. But as you can see, there's a steep angle here. So what we really need to do is, it doesn't matter what this angle is right now, we need to rotate my Dana 44 rear axle so it's pointing at my transfer case, so all the angle adjustment is done here. So we're gonna replace all the control arms and rotate this axle until the point where this and this, so they have the same angle. Right now you can tell it is completely off. All right, everyone, we are gonna start out by removing this lower control arm first. Bolt here, nut on the back side, and hopefully it will just come right out. All right, everyone, if I'd been smart, I would have been spraying all these nuts and bolts with PB Blaster for a while, but I wasn't. So I can't tell if I'm turning this bolt, and this seems pretty frozen, even though I can kind of rotate the arm fairly freely. So I have lifted the rear end. I'm going to take off the rear wheel and tire so I have better access to this bolt so I can try getting this off. If I can get the nut off, I can just hammer this bolt straight out. So it helps if you change the batteries when the battery dies. So all we have done is taken off the rear wheel, put a jack stand underneath the axle, but I also have the jack also supporting the axle. Here's the original lower control arm. Here's the new one. And I was thinking, how can I measure it? And I realized these bolts are long enough. If I can get that bolt in there, that bolt in there, these are the same length. I'm not trying to change at this time the position of the rear axle. I'm just trying to rotate it, and I'll be rotating it with the upper control arm. So this control arm is the exact same length right now. I can pull these bolts out. Now, if I put this here, and I can already tell you it's too long, and I've specifically done that, this doesn't go in. So what you do is we open this nut, we rotate it, we try again, get that to line up. There you go. They both go in. Now I know that these two lower control arms are the exact same length, and I don't have to worry about my Wrangler crab walking as I go down the highway. All right, everyone, we're about to remove this lower control arm. It's going to be the exact same process as the other side, but instead of me trying to go ahead and get to this bolt, after I get this one loose, I'll remove the wheel and tire and then attack that one. we're gonna have to remove this clip, and actually removing that clip is gonna be more interesting than I realized, but we can do that. We're gonna try to loosen the nuts and bolts for the upper control arms so we can put our adjustable control arms in here. All right, everyone. This was infinitely easier to remove than the lower control arms. This metal is also ridiculously thin, and just for that alone, I feel better for upgrading. But I was debating doing the same trick to get both of these the same, but seeing as I want to rotate it backwards, I need to lengthen this, so I'm not even gonna worry about this. And I'm gonna go ahead and rotate these out so they're about, probably gonna start at a 1/2 inch. All right, I have a lot of the weight off of the rear axle. Not all of it, but enough that I feel more comfortable with it. So now we are going to remove this bracket that holds the e-brake to the rear drums, and then we are going to remove this upper control arm. I realized two problems. One, if I have the vehicle lifted, it's not under its own weight and I can't figure out the correct angle to make everything. And two, it just wasn't wanting to rotate. So what I'm now thinking about doing is placing a block of wood right here and jacking up on it to try to twist it up. And I'm gonna do this very slowly because I am very nervous about damaging something. So, time lapse. All right, everyone, I'm about to lower the jack and see where we are at with the pinion angle. It might not be perfect, but that is way better than what it's been. We might need to do something about the fuel tank. I'll go ahead and admit that, but the fuel tank can also shove backwards a little bit more. Actually, I can go ahead and tell you I need to do that because I need it for clearance. Okay, let me do that real quick. All right, everyone, I've tightened everything down. The pinion angles look good. I measured it real quick on my phone, and the rear pinion coming out of the Dana 44 is about 15.3 degrees, and the drive shaft right now is about 13.8. So there's less than a degree of difference, which is amazing. But we're about to take it for a test drive. I'm gonna just hook the GoPro to the frame and have the GoPro pointing at the drive shaft, and I will report back once we get back on if the vibrations are better. See you soon. right, everyone. All of my vibrations are gone. Adjusting the pinion angle completely solved all my problems. I absolutely love the Core 4x4 adjustable control arms. They are fantastic. Overall, that install could not have gone smoother. I'm really happy with it. None of the bolts got seized in any of the bushings. I was able to break loose all the nuts without stripping anything. Honestly, that was about as easy of an install as it could get. So leave a comment down below. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. If you didn't, you know what to do. And hey, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider subscribing. And if you have, as always, thank you so much. You guys are awesome, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Goodbye.